Oh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Grant Store Victory Park Stadium for this afternoon's game between Chorley and Alfreton Town on non-league day. My name is Tscherewik, joined alongside Ryan Jacobs. Ryan, a few technical difficulties here and there, but we're up and running for a big game this afternoon for the Magpies.
Yeah, we just fixed it in the nick of time, didn't we, Pete? It was a little bit heart and mouth moment. We've got a hell of a crowd behind us today, as a few school kids behind us, and they're going to create a loud atmosphere on what is a brilliant day, non-league day. And it's great to see that the people that have turned out from probably Preston, Blackburn, Bolton, you name it, all the clubs in the north. And it's good to see that a few fans have come down here today.
Yeah, both teams just out onto the field for the game's play. Handshakes galore. We've got quite a few special guests with us this afternoon. A few from High Five. A few changes to report as well from Andy Priest's side this afternoon. A handful at first start for Jack Leckie, who was signed by the Magpies on loan for the end of the season. Also, Scott Wilson starting in the back alongside Leckie. Also, Warren Clark and George Horbury back in for the Magpies. Whereas our visitors for this afternoon, Alfreton Town, are unchanged from their defeat in midweek against Darlington, where by all accounts, Ryan, it sounds like they dominated the game.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one with Alfreton. They've struggled a lot as of late. It's not been a nice run of form at all. And for Billy Heath, but we know what Billy Heath is like. His style of football is get a set piece and try and score that way. It's not a pretty way of playing football, but it's it can be an effective way of playing it. And Chorley are quite notorious with that style of play also, aren't we? With set pieces, that's been the main way that Chorley have scored this season. But it's going to be interesting to see two teams coming against each other with maybe a bit of a similar style of play in some aspects.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where Alfreton, they're known for the way that they play. You know, you only have to look at the number 9, Jake Day. You have to look at them in their away strip today. They're all very big players, tall players, strong players. You know you're going to be in for a battle, in for a fight. And listen, not going to be easy out there for Chorley this afternoon. Of course, in my experience, Alfreton are probably our bogey team. So hoping to put things right today. Obviously, the previous game last season was a 3-2 win for Chorley. It's under a strap by Harvey Smith on that day, and Chorley be hoping on non-league day, to do something similar today.
Yeah, we definitely just get 3 points is the most important thing today, isn't it, Pete? It's been a tough couple of results as of late, and hopefully this could be the turning point for Chorley today with a big 3 points. And as you can hear, probably coming through the microphones, the crowd behind us are really getting up for this, getting behind the players, and that'll give the players a big boost on the pitch.
Just struggling to see at the moment, Ryan. Both teams going over to get the game underway. Referee on the whistle this afternoon is Melissa Burgin, assisted by Jordan Tyndall and Jack Lambert. The fourth official is Mr. Ryan Aldred. Andy Priest, of course, the man in the dugout for Chorley, and the notorious, as you say, Billy Heath for Alfreton Town. So it will be Chorley to get us underway with Christy Montgomery for the Magpies. It's off and away we go. Montgomery back to Blakeman, and it's straight away towards the head of Dwayne Wiley. Straight away, Ryan, the passage of play has begun with instantaneous head tennis.
That's it. It's just that that routine we have from kickoff, isn't it, Pete? It's play it back to Blakeman. He'll play it quite long and high. It's like in the rugby union and rugby league, you see the player do the drop kick and it goes high in the air. Your players chase for it, and Chorley have won a throw down this right hand side. And Blakeman,
it goes towards the head of Tom Carr, it's out and behind for an early corner. It was actually Jack Leckie who got on the end of it. Of course, one notable omission today, as we all know, is Mark Ellis. Ryan, one of your favourites, of course. Mark serves the first of his 3-match ban this afternoon, and be interested to see how Chorley's set up in terms of the set pieces with the likes of Leckie, for those who obviously can't see, 6'4", big towering central defender.
Yeah, he's absolutely massive, Pete. I was reading your little write-up this morning about him, and again, it's something that Chorley will need when you lose such a big player in Ellis, who's scored us so many goals, top goal scorer this season.
The in-swing is in, it's towards the back post, and it's all the way in! All the way in, I'm not sure if it's Mike Calverley, I think it's Mike Calverley. Cole Hall just going over to celebrate with him, but you're in a minute and 20 seconds of the game, and somehow it's in. Chorley have the opener.
We mentioned set pieces at the start of this game. It's going to be a way for both teams to score, and there's confusion at the back. You're seeing the Alfreton defenders just holding their hands up to one another and saying, how have we let that happen? And it's a quick start from Chorley. I think Jack Leckie might have got a flick on, and then Calverley stuck it in.
Let's give it to Cole
Hall.
Not sure. Just looking at Cole Hall and just seeing his face. I think he's having a little bit of a chuckle. See Mike Calverley. I think Mike Calverley the same. I think it is Mike Calverley. We'll have to get confirmation. All I'll say, Ryan, is the goal gift will be given to Mike Calverley, and surely off to the perfect start. Yeah,
and again, it's a bright start. The routine that we see off kick-off, it hasn't really worked too much this season, has it? But it's worked on that occasion. Got a throw in, then got the corner, and bang, we're in the lead inside 2 minutes. It's a quick start, and that's exactly what Chorley needed after the rough couple of days. Rough couple of games it has been, unfortunately, with 2 defeats. But again, Chorley just happy to get a positive start on non-league day. You'll get these fans even up for it even more. We heard the screams behind us, and we're hearing the screams around us. So again, this is what fans would have wanted on non-league day. Yeah,
absolutely. You just want to sort of settle the nerves down a little bit. As I've said in previous weeks, Ryan, you want an early goal. We've got an early goal. Again, Tom Carr, he's just gone down holding his head, and looks like it was a clash of heads between Carr and the Alfreton Town defender, and both physios, Robbie for Chorley and the Alfreton man, on the pitch straight away. Yeah, it's good reaction time to the physios. They were straight on that, and I've got to do an assessment now. But Tom Carr does look in quite a bit of discomfort right there, because, again, getting it to the back of the head, it's a very nasty one to actually have to deal with, isn't it? And it can get a lot of damage from the back of that, any head injury. You just notice it, Cole Hall just going over to have a little chat with the linesman, and Tom Carr, not the tallest of players by hook or crook, but I think one of the most fouled players in the league, something we've mentioned a lot over the recent weeks, but he's not scared of getting up and battling away. Attendance today, we're probably saying in the region of anywhere from 13 to 1,500, it looks like. Alfreton probably got as many as 20 or 30. Normally they associate them to be behind the goal, but on the Frank Powell stand, but not really there. The Alfreton player's up on his feet. Tom Carr still just receiving some treatment at this. Yeah, the thing is of Carr as well, he's such a brave player for such a small small man. I say small, but he's not tiny, but compared to who he's just been up against there, the number 3, Max Hunt. Of course, Max scored a couple of times against Chorley. Actually, when he was at Buxton, I think he may have scored for Alfreton against Chorley. I'm not 100% on that. The thing is, even though he is one of the Chorley's smallest players, it comes in his strength, I think, because of his character, because of his determination. He's never afraid to go up for a 50-50 in the air, and he is always willing to battle out, and it's a little advantage, because these defenders is like Max Hunt, who he just went up against, is so much taller and powerful, but he goes against them, and it surprises them because they don't expect it. Absolutely, the big miss as well for Alfreton this afternoon is their man in midfield, George Cantrell, who's suspended. George, one I would describe probably appropriately as a bit of a pain in the backside to play against George. He knows the dark arts of the game, he knows what he's doing, and he's a big miss for them this afternoon. Of course, Jed Abbey, who's one of their top goal scorers this season, another battling player in midfield.
Again, Jake Day just seems that proper number 9 target forward. He's tall, he's powerful by the looks of things, and he's probably won't be afraid to get in around the box. He looks like a bit like a poacher to me in the way he's probably not going to make runs in behind, is he, Pete? But he'll just go up in the air like that.
From Jack Leckie there against Day, and you can just see Hunt just trying to put a little bit on Cole Hall. And it'll be interesting to see how the referee is involved in this game, because on paper it's not going to be an easy game to manage. You know, there's going to be a lot of physicality involved, a lot of things going on.
Sure, I think the referee definitely will have to have help from her assistants today, because with a game like this, with two teams so focused in on set pieces, teams will be using their dark arts to full effect here.
There you go, Jake Day all over Mike Calverley, is back in again, takes down Calverley, and it's a clear foul, and Jake Day straight up onto his feet to try and protest it. And I think, you know, with all due respect to Alfreton, if you're going to get the epitome of an Alfreton Town striker for Billy Heath, it is Jake Day, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just describing it before about how he just seems like that traditional number 9 old school hold up. He won't be making runs in behind, but he'll be in and around the box, won't he? And he'll be a little bit of a poacher for Alfreton. And there he goes, backing it up. He's a big man.
See that there, though? It's just the lack of quality that he's got in terms of his outward ball. And Blakeman just picks it up on halfway, goes back to Wilson, and Wilson finds Warren Clark, who's back into the team today, having come off the bench against Needham Market. Scott Wilson going back to Matt Irwin, who just pokes the ball long up towards Cole Hall, who wins it well actually, and Carr now battling away. It falls nicely to Cole Hall. Has to get a touch on it, then his head. Moves to the line for Chorley. Tom Carr gets it, and gratefully George Sykes-Kenworthy, who's recently signed for the Reds on loan from York City, Georgia. The player I remember, probably not for the right reasons, formerly at Bradford Park Avenue, was quite often a pain to get past when Park Avenue were in the division. I remember going to the Horsefall, and he was an absolute nightmare in goal against Connor Hall that day. Thankfully though, Chorley a goal to the good in the early stages. Chorley of course take the front thanks to an early goal. Looks like it was Mike Calverley, as Blakeman just loses his foot in and Wilson slides in. It's out for a throw. Look, first Ryan, like he might have lost his foot in there, Wilson, when he was sliding in on the challenge, but
yes, Tom Carr just misplaced the pass. I think there's just a bit of miscommunication between the two. Blakeman was coming inside, whereas Tom Carr played it back where he was, and it was a quick chance, but Scott Wilson quickly came across, made a smart slide-in challenge, but now we're going to see a long throw on the opposite side here, Pete. Again, it's a long throw from Alfreton, and it's straight into
all the way over up to find Matt Irwin.
That is, I didn't think it'd be possible to see someone have a longer throw than Adam Blakeman, but today I've just seen it, because that went absolutely miles. And I think we've just seen some of the dark arts here, Pete, because now we're seeing Irwin down, holding his shoulder. Again, there will just be a stop and play here, because Irwin does need some treatment.
Back up on his feet, Matty Irwin.
You can never really keep the Chorley number 1 down, can you, Pete? He always gets back up. No, just want a little breather already. Again, there is another big game going on today, isn't there, Pete? It's a top of the table clash between Scunthorpe and Chester.
Yeah. Scunthorpe and Chester, over 8,000 expected there, and as ever we'll keep you updated as and when we can on the latest scores in National League North.
Horbury battling out in that midfield. Great bit of work from him.
Yeah, you could just see the pattern of the game already here, Ryan. And obviously trying to come back into the game a little bit here, but as ever, it's just ball up into the air as Owen German, who's the man of the match for Alfreton in midweek, gets on the ball and then finds Abbey, who's just trying to go wide.
Just interesting to see the style of play here. They've tried to play it on the floor, but then it goes straight back up into the air again, and you just feel like it's a way to get to the byline and maybe deliver balls into the box, because realistically that's probably the best way that Jake Day is going to be able to score, or Jed Abbey, because again they're both tall lads. This team is probably, I'd assume, one of the tallest in the division in terms of average height in this squad.
Yeah, and of course one player who's no longer at Alfreton is of course Billy Whitehouse. Billy left the Magpies to sign for Alfreton, is now back with Chorley as Irwin. Didn't look too sure on that. Scott Wilson has a little limp in it. Irwin has to just almost push the ball behind out for a corner.
Quite a fun fact about Billy Whitehouse. Before he rejoined Chorley, he was the top assister for Alfreton, and he still was, and he still is technically on 4. So again, that just showed you maybe the importance of Whitehouse in this team. It's a shame for them to lose him, but it's a Chorley gain to get a player of Whitehouse's quality. Again, Melissa Burgeon just having a word inside the Chorley box with both teams here. Again, just players crowding Irwin, and referee making sure, because again the goalkeepers are rightfully well protected in some aspects.
What do we tend to say? If the goalkeeper's caught, then it's normally a foul against. So the corner's taken it into the box. 2 shots come in off the line, ended up from Alan Blakeman. You just see there Billy Heath, head in his hands. And Chorley now looking to launch a counter-attack of their own as Tom Carr goes down the line and...
Oh. For a second there, Pete, I thought that was coming straight for us.
Yeah.
That was a different routine for what I was really expecting there from Alfreton. It was a short routine, smart little play. Jed Abbey didn't really get the connection he would have been hoping for on that, and then when you have a little ricochet like that inside the box, the ball can end up anywhere, and it was thankful that Blakeman was still on his near post.
So again, Jake Day battling away with Lecky, and eventually gets the better of him, but it's safe.
Yeah, you just seen Day there complaining to the official once again, but...
And Billy Heath as well was also complaining. I'm not too sure what for, though, to be perfectly honest, as Horbury picks it up on halfway, down the right.
Nice
goes
play.
Back to Lecky, does well. Cole Hall's up, just trying to beat Max Hunt. Falls nicely to Montgomery. He's got Warren Clark there as the short option down the left. Clark to drive through, down the left. Crosses low towards Cole Hall. Adam Henley! Oh, it's a half chance, Ryan.
There's a superb block, and he's had to take the full win of that. Dwayne Wiley,
yeah,
that's a
sure
big...
caught it in the knackers, Ryan, but body on the line for sure.
Yeah, Henley connected that was sweetly as well. Hit it into the ground, and it bobbled up right into the chest of Wiley, the captain for Alfreton. But it's interesting to see, again, I'm fascinated by this battle between Lecky and Day at the minute. These two are really having a good battle so far, and for his debut, Lecky is not letting probably a more experienced striker in this division bully him around, because he's trying to get in his face, he's trying to back up into him, probably stand on his toes a little bit, what we're not really seeing, and he's handling it really well. 21 years of age, like we mentioned, and he's acting really, really smart so far early on.
Yeah, well, of course, Jack's only first team senior experience has come with Farsley Celtic. He has had a few issues with injuries in the past, but this season now, captain for Hull City is Cole Hall. I saw his name in lights there, didn't he, Ryan? He got a brilliant turn away to beat the Alfreton defenders, and then goes for goal, but he gets it wrong, and it's low and wide, and it's into the hands of Sykes Kenworthy for a goal kick.
It was a smart control by Hall. He brought it down quite well with that left foot, and then he cut inside, burst of pace, and fortunately I think he was a bit further in field than he was, but just not on target on this occasion. But it's a long kick up to Jake Day, and
going all the way to Osborne, and in the end, great defending by Scott Wilson there. He's a little tap on the shoulder from Adam Henley to acknowledge it.
Yeah, really smart defending in the end, and Wilson had to be there. Again, he's been a missing figure, hasn't he, as of late, Wilson, with an injury, and it's good to have him back in the side, and he'll, again, be an important figure.
Cole Hawley, he's been held blatantly by Dwayne Wiley, and eventually they'll surely continue. It's, again, Hall battling away with Wiley, he's all over him. Henley down the right, does brilliantly, beats two. Loses his footing in the end, and Osborne force clear. Jake Day plays it off the right, all the way back to Josh Claxton. Down this right-hand side now for Alfreton Town, looking to build. German on halfway, goes back to Hunt. Looks for a ball again. Jake Day all over George Horbury that time, and that time Melissa Burgin, the referee. Clear foul from Day.
I do wonder how long, Pete, this is going to take for Day to get into the books, because he's been complaining non-stop to the official since minute one, and he's a physical striker, isn't he? He's going to get tight to the defenders and the midfielders, but you can't blatantly hold on to a midfielder and drag him down to the ground. You made it so obvious for the official. And Day again just complaining. And I wonder, you know, when will Day go into the books? I can't imagine it'll be any longer than before the break here, Pete. Owen to take this free kick now. It's going to be long kick upfield, and again Hall's just blatantly been pushed in the back.
Wiley on Cole Hall, and once again the referee Melissa Burgin intervening.
Again, we know about Alfreton, they're a very physical team. Look, you can see the size of everybody. They are gonna get close to players, but you can't blatantly put two hands in the back and force someone to the floor. Cole Hall's not somebody you can easily push around either, so you're making it easy for the linesman when you make it that obvious to give a flag and wait for a foul. But now this is a really promising position, Pete, for Blakeman.
Yep. And we've said so many times, haven't we, you know, the set pieces, but giving away needless fouls, and another one there, and they're going to add up, and the opportunities as Blakeman. Oren Willis down from us says it might be a shot. It is a delivery, it's in towards Wilson and Calverley, and just couldn't get the shot off. A great delivery from Blakeman. Sights Kenworthy decides to go short to Claxton, who straight away plays it long. Too much on that, and it's into the hands of Irwin.
I think it's just a bit unfortunate there for Calverley. It was just on his knee, wasn't it? If it was just able to get it a little bit lower, I'm sure he would have got a perfect strike away, and that would have been 2-0 Chorley, because again, Calverley's second top goal scorer behind Ellis, so again he'll be looking to take this top goal scorer.
Good header from Warren Clark, and Carr and Hall almost going for the same ball there, but ends up with Hall into the box and Carr on the ball, finds Clark, looks to try and beat Claxton, but settle for a throw, and Blakeman over on his left hand channel. A long throw to deliver in here, you'd expect.
Yeah, with all the bodies coming forward, you'd hope so, especially with Leckie coming up and Wilson.
Yeah, only left Adam Henley and Warren Clark as it's in towards Leckie. There's the back post, is Mike Calverley has a shot, second by the Cherry, and it's in! Mike Calverley at the double, and Billy Heath is absolutely furious. The Alfreton Town players are absolutely furious, claiming a handball, but Mike Calverley has his second on 20 minutes. It's Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0.
There seems to be a word here, though. The official is holding play. Celebrations might be halted here because the fourth official is having a word, as well as the linesman here. Maybe this goal might not stand, Pete. We might just have to wait here because, again, the official is just having a word. The goal stands.
Goal stands.
I've not seen a delay like that after a goal, but it seems like the referee was having a word. The fourth official is saying something here to Melissa Burgin.
He might be sending off Billy Heath for the response that came out of his mouth and the barrage. There is a card coming out.
This could be a yellow.
Who's going to go into the book? Is it a yellow one? Is it a red one?
And Billy Heath is off!
Billy Heath has been Billy Heath has been sent off. Billy Heath has been sent off. You're just seeing, reading some lips there, Ryan. He said, "It's not me." But who else was it?
Yeah, and the crowd behind us are absolutely loving it, and he's getting waved away from all the fans. Unbelievable. Where will Billy Heath be going, though? That is the question. He'll have to go down
the tunnel as Andy Priest did.
Yeah. Not sure if I just heard a big thud there. And there he goes, Heath down the tunnel. My oh my, what a dramatic few moments. I think we've got to say honestly here a little bit, Pete, that I think why Heath is so angry, it did strike the hand off Mike Cavalli, and maybe his hand was deemed to be in a natural position,
yeah,
and that is why the official's not giving it.
It's one that you'll look back, and if that was given against Chorley, you'd have been absolutely livid, really.
But you've got to ride your own, you've got to create your own luck, don't you, as the old saying goes. And
yeah, listen, you're going to have moments like that, aren't you, where...
And again now, these Alfreton players are getting more and more wound up. Jake Day again, just going to the official, just being pushed in the back there with two hands.
Has the ability here for the game to really sort of boil over, doesn't it, on the pitch. The Alfreton players have got to be very careful. Obviously, the manager no longer with us. Well, they certainly don't want to lose any players out there on the pitch, do they, Ryan?
No, it's only been 22 minutes that have been played here, and it's all kicking off already. A manager being sent off so early is sort of unheard for. As a wild shot there from Joshua Claxton, and it's a very, very wild effort. And again, Irwin can just settle things down because, again, Pete, now Chorley have got to be the bigger team here. They can't afford to get involved with these Alfreton players reacting in their way. They've got to stay switched on and focus on their own game. Yeah,
listen, I think what Alfreton will try and do now, obviously they've got a lot of work to do to try and get themselves back in this game, but they probably will play that dark arts game where they'll try and wind Chorley up, trying to get a reaction out of someone, and again, like you say, Ryan, they just need to manage the game properly and try and just stick to the game plan as George Horbury sends the ball over towards Tom Carr, but a little bit too much on it, and Sykes Kenworthy holds.
Again, I can just see though, Pete, the way these Alfreton players have really been wound up so early on. I could see one of them being sent off. I know their run of form's not been great coming into this. It's not been pleasant for them, and maybe that's what is, frustrating them a little bit as well as their results. It's just things have not been going their way, and it's been a tough time for Billy Heath, the manager. After they had quite a positive start to lead it.
Ryan, on halfway, and Alfreton, we've just got players in the box. This would be one of the longest throws you've ever seen. Oh my goodness me! Look at this throw. Wow! Ball from Max Hunt. It went all the way from nearly halfway to find the box,
and it comfortably made the box by that, Pete, didn't it? It was around the 6-yard area where it landed. It was incredible. I just said briefly before, I've not seen anybody have a longer throw than Adam Blakeman so far.
That
is top tip, comfortably. You wonder if he might have done something when he was younger, like javelin or something, to have that kind of technique, just to be able to get the throw that long it's a skill.
Well, we've got a minute here. We'll have a look at some of the goals elsewhere. National League North, Darlington a goal apiece against Rushall Olympic. Leamington a goal to the good against South Shields. Marine 1 apiece against Peterborough Sports, and Scarborough 1-0 up away at Southport. The big game in the National League North as things stand. 26 minutes gone there at the Attis Arena. It's Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0.
Again, if either team wins that, it's probably title deciding in some aspects, because Chester have got such a good run in. Scunthorpe have also got a tough few games still to go.
Osborne down this left-hand side, looking to put a cross in. Finds Nathan Newell back to post. Blakeman heads it behind and has to concede a corner. I think he was just caught there, Blakeman, but again, though, Pete, this has been the perfect start to what
non-league day for Chorley. It's just exactly what the club needed, the Magpies needed after a tough few games. It's to get a great start like this. It just settles the nerves down, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, you're in a perfect position really at 2-0. If really you'd want another one just to sort of see things out and put the game beyond doubt, because you just never know at 2-0. Obviously, Alfred, not a man down, but a manager down. So the corner comes in, pushing the back on Calverley, and it's a free kick to Chorley that, again, it's a pretty easy decision for referee Melissa Virgin to make.
Yeah, you mentioned, Pete, about the 2-0. You can't really settle on it in a way. We've experienced that firsthand, haven't we, here with Chester? They were cruising at 2-0. Well, not cruising, but they were 2-0 up, and then Chorley came back and won 3-2. So that's why you need that third goal at times.
There's moments in the game, obviously another one was the South Shields game away in the season, 3-0 up Chorley, got it back to 3-0. So you just never know, but I think at the moment the big word for Alfreton would probably be just pure frustration. Irwin.
Again, just seeing Osborne there for Alfreton just complaining to their fourth official. It's more complaints from these Alfreton players. Horbury, though, wins the ball back just on the halfway line. Battling out and plays a nice ball down the line. Tom Carr does really well.
There, doesn't he? And again, jinks in left, in right. Lecky gets his ball wrong and uses his inner thigh, a little bit of a slap in frustration, but it's positive play from Lecky. And just have a look at Ryan at the moment. You see the captain Dwayne Wiley, his body language is just like a broken man, like a man who's been defeated. He looks ever so frustrated. As now he's pulling all over Cole Hall, and
they're just having a word with Hunt. He's not happy at all. We've seen these kind of fouls though, Pete, in previous games, not really given. Referees don't seem to see them almost, but Alfreton defenders are making it so obvious.
Yeah, it must be the second or third foul from Wiley again on Cole Hall. It's another set piece opportunity for Chorley. So Blakeman to deliver, and it goes. It's looping, it's high, and Sykes Kenworthy holds.
Yeah, comfortable there for Kenny'sworth, and he easily claims it, but again, Warren Clark closing down after played short on this occasion. Henley now to a long ball up, battling it away. Osborne now on the ball, cuts
Good
inside.
Inside from Osborne, does well, beats 1 and 2, then goes back to Claxton.
He delivers. Carvaley's there. Tom Carr just sticks it out of play. Chorley can reset, but we've got that long throw once again to deal with now. One of the longest throws probably in the league. I probably wouldn't even put it past probably Europe. That's how long it is. From Adam Lund. Lund takes it. Flicked on to the back post.
Still alive, offside flags up though from the linesman right.
Again, it was a good save by Irwin anyways. Had to be there, was there. Hearing the fans behind us singing Chorley's on fire. After this fiery start that Chorley had, I can't disagree with them so far. You just see him in Jamie Vermiglio behind us, Pete, with a nice big smile on his face.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for a better start, really. All things being said, Ryan, of course. 2-0 against Alfreton Town. A game that, had a potential to be a bit of a banana skin. Alfreton haven't won in 9 coming into this game. Their longest winless run, I think, since 2010.
To answer your question, Sam, no, you cannot unfortunately watch the game. There's no live stream possible to actually watch the game live, but you'll have to deal with mine and Pete's voices, unfortunately. There will be highlights though after the game, if and that will be around a couple of hours after.
Oh, it'll be tomorrow, the highlights, Ryan.
Oh, I'm just so used to them come flying out.
Embargoed.
And then there'll also be a behind-the-scenes one, won't there, Pete, which takes a little bit longer as well. Which the great man Aidan films. Again, Irwin plays it long to Hall, who's dragged to the floor. Referee doesn't give it this time.
Hunt. Play continues on halfway. Wilson heads up, finds Warren Clark. He looks like he was knocked in the head by Claxton. He's up on his feet though, and again, head tennis continues. And now George Horbury's there. Looked like he wanted to find Henley. He has just done that. Done really well in the end. Horbury now to deliver across maybe. Takes a touch, in it goes. It's finds the first man, and Lecky and Blakeman are there. Jake Day actually there for once. Makes a good challenge rather than a foul, and Alfreton in the end just lump it long. And
yeah, Nathan Newell just giving that away carelessly. Horbury knows he's got to deliver a better ball there though, because that was again a golden opportunity, but fortunately on this occasion Horbury can't do it, and he's kicking himself a little bit there. He knows that was a good chance. Blakeman to take a long throw, but met by an Alfreton player, and Lecky's just going to let it run back, but he's got a bit of pressure from Day.
It's gone down then. Jake Day like maybe under a challenge of.
But again, there's a little bit of miscommunication it seemed there, Pete. Lecky
definitely shout for a penalty in there. Jake Day's claiming to the linesman that he was clipped by the legs of Irwin. Sorry, the legs of it. Day caught by Irwin, sorry I should say, and have to settle for a long throw, which will come in deep. Claimed by Irwin this time.
And there we go, Pete.
And Melissa Burgeon has just booked Jake Day for dissent.
Well, I said it would be before half-time he'd go into the book. And I can see, Pete, that he could probably be even sent off by this second half.
We'll have to be careful now though, Dave, Ryan. Mamadou Toure looking like he's going to enter the fray.
I think it could be Carr here. He's looking a bit unwell. Yep, it's Tom Carr.
Yeah, Tom Carr.
I think
force change. He looks in a lot of discomfort. And Mamadou Toure comes on in his place.
He's just indicating something with his eye there, Pete, it seems. It's like he might have something like maybe potentially blurred vision a little bit. Yeah, it's the way it was just shown there. It didn't look like he can't really see. So, again, that's why you've got to be really careful with these head injuries. This is why the physios take their time to assess the players. I'm sure when Robbie, isn't it, who would have done the assessment.
Robbie and his students.
He does a brilliant job taking care of every single Chorley player. He would not have let Tom Carr continue unless he was absolutely sure. So, again, maybe Carr's just felt something a little bit more later on, because he's been throwing himself into these tackles. So, hopefully Tom Carr will be all okay for Tuesday's game against Darlington.
Yeah, you have to hope so. Again, I don't know if I'll have to have a word at half time and see whether it actually classes a concussion substitution possibly. I'm not sure if it was maybe vision related. Obviously Andy Priest gives him a little touch and tap on the head.
Has Tom gone straight down the tunnel, it seems?
Yeah, I think he must be receiving some sort of treatment. He has gone straight down the tunnel.
And again, it's quite an interesting thing when players go down with these head injuries. Quite a lot can be forced to, like in rugby, where they are forced to go off, get an assessment. It could be a thing that could really be introduced to football, just to help protect these footballers from getting long-term head injuries and stuff in the future. You know, the side effects of concussions later on. It could be a thing that really can be introduced into football at some point.
Yeah, hopefully we can find out a little bit more as to what's what with Tom Carr. I'll have a little word at half time and see what the crack is. There's another one of these monstrous long throws to come in from Hunt or London, I'm not too sure which. That far away, I can't tell who it is. But eventually Montgomery gets it clear, and Torre now the only player up high for Chorley. Sykes Kenworthy's kick is quite flat, and Lecky battling away with Day. Wilson heads it again, and Christy Montgomery battling away with Day, who's continuing to be a nuisance. Eventually shot comes in from Abbey, Ryan, but need about 5 goals to get that one in.
Yeah, it's more of a rugby attempt. I keep referencing rugby today, but it's a force of habit. At this moment in time, these strikes are just going way too high for Alfreton. They're not causing Irwin too much of a threat. But yeah, again, Chorley have set up really well, really neutralising any proper threat that Alfreton are throwing Chorley's way so far. Again, this midfield partnership, I think, of Calverley and Montgomery has been working really, really well. And, you know, Jack Lakey, again, on his debut, he's had a little shaky moment here or there, but overall he's...
Good play from Torre into the back of Hunt.
Done well.
Day holds on, and Calverley battling away with him now. Lecky steps in, does really well, actually, to give the ball back, and Clark. Good head away again by Lecky, does really well there, and Aubrey just trying to keep the ball in, but he can't.
There's been a complaint. Let's get your nose down.
Jeremy Murillo sits next to us. Anything to say, Jamie, to our viewers?
About today's game, I'd say it's a physical encounter and one that sometimes we don't come out on top of. But at the moment, I think we're giving better than we're receiving. I think we're standing up to the physical challenge. And yeah, we're in a good position, 2-0. I got a little bit lucky, I think, with the second goal. But overall, the lads have been outstanding.
Yeah, I think about time we got a bit of a slice of luck, really, after some of the decisions that have gone against us so far this season. In a 46-game season, just see Tom Carr coming back out. I think he's just gesturing there. He's had a few problems with his vision. Irwin with the ball in hand and goes long towards Cole Hall, and Horbury then picks out Montgomery. Ball back at the feet of Horbury. He holds it, does well, and Torre to it by Newell. Surely a lot of pressure on as Day battling away with Lecky, who at the moment, Ryan, seems to have the measure of Lecky. Oh, sorry, has the measure of Day.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive to see. Again, he's for such a young defender playing first team football for properly the first time. It is impressive to see how Lecky is competing with Day, who's getting in his face, you know, getting in a little wrestling match, but again, he's being calm on the ball.
Two have been signed yesterday, so we've trained on, I think, Thursday, and then, you know, straight into a probably most physical game of his career, you'd guess, and certainly probably the most physical game of the season, as Torre does well there and finds Henley. Back to Horbury, who's under pressure by Abbey, just caught there. Looks like he was caught. Advantage played by Melissa Bergen as Henley. Horbury just now back up on his feet. Good challenge from Blakeman. He's done well holding on to the ball. Get the ball towards the corner, Ryan, but
it's quite funny to hear the chants here, Pete, behind us. Every time we lose the ball, it's just we want our ball back, and Chorley players do their best to win it back as quickly as they can. It's Scunthorpe 1, Chester 0.
It's a big goal for the Iron. Do our best to get confirmation of who's got the opener at the Attis Arena.
Again, it's big. It was big celebrations on Tuesday night when Scunthorpe dropped points against Kidderminster. The Chester fans were thinking it's their time. Maybe, just maybe, the party will be able to hurt on Holt.
That man again, Callum Roberts, the difference maker. Where would Scunthorpe be without him this season? As Brackley have also taken the lead away at Radcliffe. A big goal. Another big goal towards the top of the table. Chorley here, of course, 2 goals to the good as things stand after 41 minutes. There's Cole Hall battling away with think Nathan Newell on this left-hand side, and Newell just about.
You could just imagine the atmosphere, though, Pete, at Scunthorpe when that goal went in. It was like when Chorley came here and got those goals, and Bamber Bridge.
Yeah, another one we have to mention. Bamber Bridge looking to spoil Macclesfield's party. A goal to the good on the road, thanks to Michael Potts. I wonder how long that'll last, Ryan.
Yeah, that's a surprise to say the least. But Jamie Milligan, I've got to say, loves an Astro to pitch, but played long. But yeah, again, Jamie Milligan on a good footballing pitch gets Bamber Bridge playing a style of football which teams like Macclesfield find hard to come against. So it's a flying start for Brig, and they'll be buzzing with that one. But can they hold on?
Well, I think it is a case that Macclesfield only need a point to secure the title this afternoon. So that's the inkstand. The champagne is on ice for Robbie Savage's team.
Again, I think with so many games left to play, Pete, as well, I don't think Macclesfield are maybe in too much of a hurry.
Jamie Vermiglio having a word with Billy Heath, who's just found himself in the stands.
He snuck in, he's managed to sneak past Vermiglio.
Erwin.
And now he's being told once again he's got to go back down. He's not allowed to sit up here, unfortunately.
Yep, Jamie Vermiglio has given Billy Heath his marching orders. Our man Adam Lunn launches another long throw, met by the head of Scott Wilson, and one for Torre to chase. Henley heads. And Lund, as you'd expect, just will settle for the throw and look to put one in again. Well, Lund launches another one in. Swan past the penalty spot, towards the back post, headed up. Wilson hooks it clear, and another opportunity, Ryan, for Alfreton to have another long throw, this time from the far side.
Yeah, I've got to say, they're finishing this first half a little bit stronger. They've been getting opportunities with these long throws now, Pete, and it's causing a little bit more trouble, but Chorley are dealing with it at the same time. It's not really being clear cut, but again, it's that long throw. Same for the near post. Wilson reaches it and gets it cleared. But
you see Alfreton, as you say, Ryan, ending the half strongly, trying to put a bit of pressure on, and they've got themselves a corner. They've certainly improved in these last 5 or 10 minutes. Looks like there's going to be 2 added minutes.
Again, Chorley are clearing these chances, no problem, but it's the fact that they've got where they clear it to, it's a long throw, and with the size of his long throw, you can throw it from anywhere, max. So it's just really, really frustrating from a Chorley point of view.
Hands up, I think it's Sam Osborne who's over to go and take this corner. Outswing it, in it comes. Towards the back post, it's met. Cleared sort of off the line, I guess, from Blakeman, and Torre battling away with Wiley. Again, brilliantly done from Torre, and penalised there. I'm not sure what for. And a great stat from our man Oren Willis. In the 44th minute of the game, it's Chorley's first foul.
Again, it's a little... Chorley have been well behaved today, you've got to say. It's usually a few fouls have been given, but again, all players on their best behaviour, because I think maybe Andy Priest has made it clear Alfreton will want to make this dirty, want to make it ugly, and Chorley players know they've just got to not react, and Owen's going to comfortably claim that free kick and go down. As the half-time whistle approaches, it'll be interesting to see what the fourth official indicates will be added time.
Up it goes towards the head of Cole Hall. 4 added minutes. 4 minutes to be added at the end of this first half.
Again, that is a perfect amount of time with this long throw that Adam Lund has, just to be able to keep this pressure on. This is probably, again, what Billy Heath would be wanting from his players at the end. He can't be communicating anything unless he's sending a few text messages to his assistant manager.
Well, we all know the curious case of Chris Anderson with the AirPod in one ear and Andy Priest seemingly on the phone with the other. It doesn't look like Alfreton are quite that advanced with technology by all counts at the moment. Ryan, as Montgomery puts a foot in on Osborne, does well to win the ball back, but it is at the expense of a throw.
Yeah, and again, it's Lund to take, and it's going to be one hell of a throw. And again, you just wonder, you fear in some aspects, Pete, with a throw that powerful and long, it could end up in the back of the net, and it just couldn't come off Irwin or anything. But it's delivered again, but Irwin does really well to claim.
It again really well that time, Irwin. He's not really had a save to make, but he certainly had 4 or 5 of these where he's had to be tall, strong, and account for himself and claim it well.
And Day there, by the way, he left one in on Irwin, and Irwin's just said, come and have a word with me. He's not happy with that, because again, just leaving one in on the goalkeeper is just unnecessary. Cole Hall's been brought to the floor, referee says nothing in it, and Osborne plays it out wide. Blakeman, though, intercepts and heads it back, but Claxton picks it up, plays it down this right-hand side.
Play down the right, the ball looks to be crossing in, and Wilson does well eventually to halt it from going out for a corner. Torre just bundled to the floor by the number 3, Max Hunt. And now Torre down in a bit of a heap, holding his head.
Yeah, it was a big push in the back, or maybe even arm in the back more than anything, with a little bit of an elbow from Max Hunt there. And he was leading with the arm, and the referee was obviously going to give a foul for that. And you've got to use your height, your strength to your advantage, but these Alfreton players just don't know how to do it, unfortunately. They haven't mastered that art, they haven't crafted it. It seems something to work on maybe for Billy Heath's men.
So the ball lofted up towards head of Hall, who's battling away with Claxton, and now Alfreton looks to clear. Wilson battling away with Day, and Blakeman then this time puts his foot in. Jake Day trying to do it all at the moment, does well really to keep the ball there. Montgomery this time fouls the Alfreton player, and the visitors have a free kick bang on halfway line.
Yeah, I think they'll be frustrated that Lund can't take this from halfway line. I'm sure he would be perfect to deliver this if it was a throwing opportunity, but again, it's going to be a long free kick from Claxton. Delivers, and Wilson is there to meet it once again. Torrey with a little flick, and Montgomery's going to try and run after the second ball. It's played long again, and Osborne competes, but Leckie does really well to win that header.
Again, maybe just one last chance for Alfreton for the half to deliver a long throw, and this time the Alfreton Town, I think it's the assistant manager, just been having a word with us. Lund's trying to...
Yeah, the assistant was just being a little bit cheeky there.
Yeah, take an extra few yards, and it's in towards Day. It's still alive for Alfreton across the box, and foul against Alfreton for more pushing and shoving, and I think that'll be that for the first half, Ryan.
Yeah, for such a big and physical team though, Pete, it's so strange to see them this frustrated by Chorley, pushing, having to around pushes in the back, and it's not going their way by doing so. So you'd think it's just weird to see.
There we go. Half-time score, Andy Priest straight down the tunnel with a thumbs up. Be interested to see it, Ryan, before we have a little bit of a break for 10 minutes to see whether the Alfreton staff or players go over to the referee straight away. Number 4 Adam Lund's over to Melissa Burgeon and is told to go away. But in terms of football, Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0 at the break, thanks to a Mike Carverley brace. Just hear Jamie Veriglio behind us saying, come on Ryan, we've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, definitely so. And, Michael Hardman, I think you're right to feel frustrated that you're not here today. It's been a good half of football from Chorley, a great opening 20 minutes, maybe the last 10 probably could have been a little bit better, but overall it's been a perfect first half from Chorley, and we're happy to head into the break 2-0 to the good.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you for the next 10 to 15 minutes while we can hear all the beautiful singing behind us, Ryan, but at the break it's Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0. Welcome back, everyone, for the second half of today's game between Chorley and Alfreton. Fortunately for Mike Carverley, we've just seen some confirmation that it definitely was an own goal. As things stand, it doesn't look like either team are going to make a change. You see Stephen Drench over having a bit of practice with Matt Irwin, Melissa Burgin on the whistle, ball in hand. Heads over to halfway to place the ball down. It's not Cows, just watched it back. He gets him by his legs. What? Dirty pig. Oh, yeah, it looks like Alfreton won't be making any changes at the break, and so Owen German, ball at his feet. He's just having a word there with Stephen Drench. Looks like it's the Alfreton assistant manager. His play does get back underway. Ryan just beat me to it with the stopwatch. Ryan, must be your biggest achievement of today.
very, very true. But yeah, looking forward to the second half. I mean, the first half was good. It's going to be fascinating to keep up to date with scores around us though as well. As Oren was telling us at half time, as if results stay as they are, Chorley move up 2 places, which again is really, really good.
It's interesting, you know, one good result, you know, could easily move you up, but then again, if the results go against you, as we've said for several weeks now, it's one where I think it's probably important just to focus on ourselves really, and of course other teams are going to play against each other, you know, Curzon and Hereford, Chester and Scunthorpe, things like that, but you just know his Cole Hall's in on goal. It looks like he's being caught. Has he got the? Must have got enough with the ball. It was a last-ditch lunging challenge where Cole Hall looked to have been in, but heroic defending, really. You have to say, from the Alfreton player to win the ball back from Cole Hall.
I think for me there, Peter, was just a really good last-ditch tackle there from Max Hunt. He had to do something brave and risky, and it paid off for him on this occasion.
Right.
But
finds Hall and just looking to flick it.
Does well to get it to Montgomery.
Montgomery, yeah, in the middle, finds Blakeman, goes back to him. We're just obstructed at the moment, can't quite see what's going on.
So throw into Chorley, that's all we know.
Chorley, we're going to have to rely on Oren for the next 3 seconds, and Oren says to us he's got no idea what's going on, as well as the barrage of kids who are sat behind us have come back to take the seats for the second half, because we can't see. I am going to try and stand just to see. It's going to be a Blakeman long throw to come in from the left. Ryan, you're going to stay seated.
I'm going to trust the view of when the ball
Blakeman
gets delivered.
Comes towards front post, back to Blakeman, second by the Cherry, delivers towards the back post. Scott Wilson's up, heads it, it's the post, still alive, flags up off the post. Oh, Scott Wilson, a really well taken header.
Corner ball.
You won't have seen that, but it's bound for a corner.
Yeah, Cavalli done really well to keep that ball in play and force another good save out of George's Kennyworth. He's done really well there, the keeper, to tip that onto the post, I believe. But yeah, it's a really good header from Scott Wilson to get it down and into that corner. Made it difficult for the keeper, but now Blakeman's got the opportunity to deliver a really good corner. And he takes it, goes to the near post this occasion.
Headed away as far as Montgomery, who takes it first time and settles for a throw.
That more works in Chorley's favour anyway, a throw in from this position. Blakeman can deliver similar to Max Lund in that first half. Blakeman though, flat, goes to Scott Wilson, plays it back.
Back in. Blakeman delivers, and again, it's another corner.
Just good work from, sorry, it was Adam Lund who was doing those long throws, by the way, not Max. getting them two mixed up.
Adam Lund with the long throw for Alfreton, and we were just talking at half time with a few people in terms of it's probably the longest throw we've seen all season. Also confirmation that Tom Carr came off because he was struggling to see with his vision. However, he has since passed the test to confirm that he's not been concussed. So great to see. Chorley taking no chances, and I suppose at 2-0 the players' health is of course the first priority, but nice that they can make a like-for-like change in bringing on Mo Toure.
Yeah, you can never be too safe with a player's health. That is the top priority of everybody here at Chorley Football Club, just to make sure that everybody is 100%. And if there's even 1% of doubt, you take them off.
Lecky and Day battling away. Blakeman got to be careful with his foot in. Finds Wilson beaten away by Osborne. Warren Clark does well. And again, second bite of the cherry. Clark does
brilliant footwork.
Beats away Claxton, and the foul's given.
And that's going to probably be a yellow
Mike
card.
Carvely down as well. Looks like he's in a bit of discomfort.
I'm not too sure what Claxton was complaining about there. It was a blatant foul. Warren Clark did some brilliant footwork to get around the defender who stuck a foot in. And
well, there was Sam Osborne, who I'm not sure if their pass did cross together at Buxton, but had the beating of him, and then Claxton went in. Owen German just being spoken to by referee Melissa Burgeon as Mike Carvely is down receiving treatment by Robbie Harrison.
Again, it seems like his foot or ankle here, Pete, that he's getting a bit of treatment on. And I've already been told that some people are already putting him in team of the week after when you get a brace already.
Robbie Harrison just signalling in there. He's not going to be able to continue. Mike Carvely on 51 minutes, and looks like the like for like will be Joe Nolan.
Again, in a way though, Pete, as much as it is saddening to lose Calverley, Joe Nolan's such a great player to have on that bench who can come in and fit into that position, and just do the job that Calverley can do. And that's such a shame, and it's a big loss for Chorley. Hopefully, again, it's just a little knock, not something too serious.
Yeah, confirmation of the change. Joe Nolan on in the 52nd minute.
Again, that's tough to lose Calverley now, because again, it's the type of game where you want his physicality. In a game like this, when the midfield battle's going on, Calverley just maybe thrives in that environment. Warren Clark tries his best to keep it in, but it can't on this occasion.
So good to see Joe Nolan back in to the action. Of course, Joe got the nod against Needham Market last time out, and probably would have been a bit disappointed not to have started again today, but competition for places in midfield maybe made a little bit worse now with Calverley going off injured, as Horbury heads up and Lecky battling away with Jake Day, and Osborne goes down. You see Tom Carr walking towards us. Be another Chorley throw on the left hand side to come in. Blakeman not going to go for the box this time. It's not quite as long as Adam Lund's, but down the line it goes as I've just spilt my coffee on the team sheet. It's on today's bingo for anyone, as Alfreton looks to clear. Lecky, good first touchdown with his weaker left, and Lewis Salmon, who's been quiet today for Alfreton. I can remember last season had a really good season in front of goal, but very little action from him, and this afternoon is Day. Flicks on, Abbey all over the shirt of Joe Nolan. It falls kindly to the 25.
Osborne cuts inside. There's that wide to Claxton.
Good play from Osborne. It's to the back post. What a save from Matthew Irwin. Fantastic save from Irwin to deny. I think it was Jed Abbey coming into the back post with a strong header. And there's the danger sign for Chorley. Alfreton really knocking on the door, and that's a fantastic save.
And just give you an update around the Northern Leagues. It's Scunthorpe 2, Chester 0. Massive goal there for Scunthorpe United. We'll have to give you an update on who scores that one, but probably can guess who that could be, who's probably got that goal, Pete. It is, more importantly now, an Alfreton corner. Will be Osborne.
Yeah, Osborne in. You can see all the pulling and poking and shoving. Wiley at the front post, he's up. Irwin, though, straight into his hands. And Chris Anderson, the assistant manager, just gesturing in to Irwin to sort of take his time.
Yeah, it was such an important save, though, there by Irwin. It was at the near post.
Michael Kelly has got the second for Scunthorpe. Sounds by the tweet from their account that it was a good one. It says take a bow. Hereford have just taken the lead against Curzon Ashton. And elsewhere, Rush All Olympic ahead against Darlington on the road. So results all over the place as things stand. But one important result for us this afternoon, Ryan, it's Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0, with a little over half an hour left to play.
Yeah, and the other game as well in the Northern Prem, Humber Bridge nearly doubled their lead, but Macclesfield got it cleared off the line. So again, more drama in that division.
Blakeman, long throw up towards the front post. It's headed away only as far as Clark. He finds Blakeman first time, goes in towards good touch from Cole Hall. And then in the end, Alfreton going to scramble it clear as Henley on halfway, the deepest player on the pitch. Great turn from Scott Wilson. Wow, brilliant. Finds Cole Hall.
My oh my, that turn was Cruyff-esque.
It's brilliant play from Scott Wilson, and Cole Hall just down. He taps the grass in frustration. It's a really tough one for him to take. It kind of coming across him. He'd have loved to have hit the target. The back of the net bulging. A couple of changes going to come in here for Alfreton though.
Yeah, Pete, I think Cole Hall knows he's just snatched at that effort in a sense. It was tough. The ball was bobbling a little bit, but I think he knows in that position he's got to be hitting the target. Again, Max Hunt was coming across quickly, but I think you can see by Hall's reaction now, he knows he's got to be hitting the target in that position. He'll be a little bit frustrated with himself there. But it's a substitution now for the visitors. It will be Osborne off and Akil Francis who's gone on. Yeah,
Jake Day as well. Off he goes. It doesn't get a particularly pleasant reception. Yeah, Jerry McDonough.
Again, it's not like they've lost height. They probably added height now as well with McDonough coming on the pitch, and Francis isn't much.
So Liam Wardock, the man who got the all-important winning goal in the reverse fixture earlier in the season, is on. So is Akil Francis. It was a triple change for Alfreton. Play just being held at the moment. The fourth official. Interesting here at the moment. You've got an Alfreton Town player in Jed Abbey playing about something good header from Horbury, and one to chase for Cole Hall.
I'll be honest here, Pete, I've not seen a team this season who's come to the Grant Store Victory Park Stadium and complain as much as Alfreton this season.
You know, he didn't exactly have the hallmarks of a classic this afternoon. It probably hasn't been that, but there's a job here for Chorley to do, and it's important that they stay focused and, you know, as you say, get the job done. Another long throw comes in, bounces over everyone as far as Abbey. Wardock now, his first touch is one that goes all the way back to Claxton, who is on halfway and is forced to go back to Sykes Kenworthy, and Warren Clark there, and Montgomery gets a touch on halfway. There's a chance here. Nearly. Good header from Horbury.
Wilson plays it over the top.
Good ball over the top from Wilson, just a couple of yards too many on it. Sykes Kenworthy gratefully holds on to that one. well,
Again, a bit of an admin error maybe for the Alfreton
good
lads.
touch from Warren Clark.
Saying Billy Heath has decided to turn to the bench when it should be a. Interesting choice of words from there.
Up it goes towards Abbey. Waldock gets in on the act with the battling away, and Nolan just this time puts his foot through it. Interesting, currently Warrington Town 3-0 down to Oxford City. That's a huge game down at the bottom, and everything's going against Paul Carden's side. As we'll just have a little look elsewhere around the grounds at this moment in time to see the latest scores. Marine 2-1 up against Peterborough Sports. Brackley 2 up against Radcliffe. Of course, Scunthorpe 2 up against Chester as Blakeman. Oh, Wiley, not too sure about that one. Ball spinning everywhere. I think he had to though, Ryan, didn't it, with the way that it was played by Blakeman.
Yeah, it's quite a fascinating kick that from Blakeman. Really interesting style of technique to do that outside the boot, but it worked. But again, Alfreton are just starting to find the ball a little bit more now, Pete, aren't they? The substitutions have just seemed to maybe had a little bit of an impact on the game, but again, they're not really threatening too much. It's just that they're getting on the ball a little bit more. Again, smart play from Mamadou Toure. Plays it back to Wilson, who's under pressure, but does well to play it back to Irwin.
Substitute Francis, who's come on. Looked a little bit lively, he's not really touched it yet, but I suppose a little bit, that's all Alfreton can really do at the moment, is just try and push the buttons, try and inject a bit of something. Obviously now they've got Abbey trying to isolate Blakeman, and you could see there, Ryan, the height difference between those two. Long ball down the left towards McDonough. Henley scoops it towards halfway for Montgomery to chase. Tory up in the air, Nolan up in the air. Quite a common theme here, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it literally is just a game of head tennis at times, and the way Chorley are playing this style of at this minute in this second half has been different to the first. It's been almost like Chorley are happy to give the ball to Alfreton and see what they can do with it, because Chorley's defensive system is comfortable to deal with it. And Henley's given away a foul there, which was questionable, but he's saying he's been dragged down with him. Well, on this occasion, the referee gives it.
He's a good important touch by Henley, but then he obviously makes the foul afterwards. He is claiming his innocence in terms of being pulls.
Again, just seeing Blakeman communicating with Andy Priest here, and just seeing what
Andy Priest having a little chat with Adam Blakeman, a few instructions being put across. So an opportunity for Alfreton from a set piece this time. It's just past the centre circle, the edge of the centre circle. Torres, a one-man wall for Chorley, I suppose, being told to back off. Claxton was offering the short, being given that, and now I think that's Max Hunt being pulled over by the referee, Melissa Burgeon alongside Cole Hall.
Again, I was just watching that there, Pete, though, that Max Hunt became quite free for a split second. He's got to be careful, and again, Horbury's got to mark his man closely.
Wardock will deliver eventually, straight to the head of Jack Leckie, and now there's a foot race between Toure and the 23, Nathan Newell. It's all the way back to Sykes Kenworthy, who has to be careful. A little gust of wind there, and
Wilson does well to win that battle in the air with
well there,
Francis.
Christy Montgomery.
Again, what an addition Montgomery's been to this Chorley team. Ever since he's come in, he's looked really comfortable.
Another one where Chorley will be delighted to have him for the rest of the season. This time, Alfred take the throw short. Claxton delivers. Not a great delivery, but it's won by Waldock. Cole Hall battling away at the back to win that. Christy Montgomery there with Joe Nolan, and
Torres
done really well using his body. Goes back to Blakeman and puts the ball back over the top. Henley, if he can get on the end of this, could be in on goal. He's battling away. Henley's done really well, but
again, Henley is
for a foul, but giving himself too much to do in the end.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say, Pete. You stole the words out of my mouth. Henley was just looking for a foul. He was again pulled back there from Wiley, and you were thinking maybe the official was looking at it, but I think because, again, Henley was smart enough not to go down on this occasion. It didn't see any reason to give a foul. It's just two people battling it out for the ball. Again, it's been quite interesting to see the difference, though, between Jake Day and Francis here. It's
good header from Leckie again. He's just gone down, but back up straight away. Is Alfreton looking to launch one down the line, left-hand side to McDonough. Horbury does well to win the ball. Maybe a chance of handball there, but I think it was really ball to hand. Horbury at his feet, finds Toure, right-hand side. Montgomery offering an option. Horbury touches it, finds Cole Hall.
Really good work there from Hall.
Very deep play from Alfreton here, not trying to stay as compact as possible. Wilson picks up the second bite of the cherry. Goes left, finds Warren Clark, puts one across the box, and it's gratefully into the hands of George Sykes-Kenworthy.
Again, that was great build up there from Scott Wilson, Cole Hall and Warren Clark. Clark just tried to play it back into Wilson, and what a tiny little finish that would have been if Wilson was able to get on the end of that, Pete. That would have been a really nice trolley move.
It would have. Now it's Leckie battling away with Akil Francis. Nolan pokes it. Andy Priest not interested in it. The ball's landed on top of the tunnel.
And now we're going to see a real close-up view of this long throw here from Lund.
He's right on the Chorley dugout, and he's been told to go a few yards back, and Andy Priest isn't going to move for him, that's for sure.
Andy Priest has pointed to the exact spot where Lund had to take it from.
Taking it from the same spot anyway, and ball's flicked across. Cole Hall eventually there and just pokes it back, and Toure going to come all the way forward to try and put some pressure on Sykes-Kenworthy. It comes off him in the end, but there's no other Chorley player there to pick up the end of the spoils. Great sliding challenge from Warren Clark. Cole Hall then left one on him by Wiley. He's down. Great play from Chorley there between Toure, Hall and Clark. Brilliant touch from Toure. He's then taken down.
It's a really nice ball.
McDonough, good ball down the line from Wilson. Francis battling away with Leckie. Now German down the right. Give it a bit of space to run into it. Puts it across the box. Irwin has to get a hand on it. Ryan, I don't think that was going goalwards. I think Irwin still felt he needed to put a hand on it. It was dangerous.
Yeah, it was a smart save from Irwin. He's just covering his post anyway, because you can never trust yourself, and goalkeepers know their goal off the back of their hands. They know where they're set. They know how to, when they should make a save, when they shouldn't. So I trust Irwin. It was the right call on that occasion to make that save, because you never know, it might have been creeping into that far corner. Again, Billy Whitehouse just getting ready to be warmed up. Could see a little feature from him.
Down the tunnel. Toure putting pressure on Hunt. It goes back to Sykes-Kenworthy. He's just hit the midriff of Sykes-Kenworthy, who just puts his foot through it. Won back really well by Horbury, and Cole Hall arguing he was fouled there, but play allowed to continue. Switch down the right to McDonough. Good header from Wilson. Cleared away as far as Toure, and Cole Hall looking to try and counter, but being pulled back there as Montgomery releases Cole Hall. Has got to chase after this one. Just about keeps it in, does really well. He's all the way on the left-hand side, goes back to Montgomery. Blakeman there now. Chance to deliver, goes short to Cole Hall, flicks it back into Blakeman. Ball across the box. Chipped up to Forrest. Toure on target. A really nice, classy move
I think on that occasion, I was just trying to say there, Pete, I think he should have made it left that for Henley, because Henley was running onto that perfectly, and with Torre having to lean back, it probably neutralised the power that he could have got onto that, whereas Henley, who was striding onto it, could have a sweeter connection. But it was a great effort nevertheless to generate the power that Torre did on that. From the way he had to strike it was pretty impressive, and still tested the keeper. But again, that was a really clever move from Chorley in that build-up play. Cole Hall combining with Blakeman, who played that little chip over behind. I think on another day that could have landed perfectly to Blakeman and landed on his feet, not Blakeman, on Torre's feet, and it could have been 3-0 Chorley, and we could have been talking about potentially this game being wrapped up. But again, at 2-0, you can never say that.
Yeah, you just don't know. Obviously, Alfreton probably, to be fair to them, ended the first half strongly. Chorley arguably not have been quite at the level they were in the first half, but not going to go for broke at 2-0 up anyway. Cole Hall holds on, pull to the floor. Play continue, great feet from Montgomery to try and get past Claxton. Done really well, Christy Montgomery, to win himself a corner, and he's been excellent this afternoon, hasn't he, Ryan? Yeah,
he really has. Again, you can see why he is sort of cemented himself in that midfield in a way, with Mike Cavalli and Joe Nolan, and you see in George Horbury as well, week in, week out, and Montgomery's shining. And for Blackburn fans who might be here in attendance today, getting to see one of their academy products shining at this level, he's got a bright future ahead of him, you've got to say. But yeah, it's very, very impressive so far. And Blakeman delivers this cross, and it's a good clearance from
goes Montgomery. More head tennis, more of our view being obstructed, and now Horbury picks it up on this left, goes first time with his left foot. It's cleared away into the hands of a Chorley supporter, and as you say, Macclesfield, their dream being champion today is back on. 2-1 up now against Bamber Bridge. Filed also 3-0 up at home to Forest Green.
It's an absolute ridiculous performance from Filed to pull that out. 3-0 up.
Wilson inadvertently just fires the ball into Joe Nolan, and Kings Lynn have taken the lead against Buxton. Another game with a significant importance this afternoon in the race for the playoffs. Kidderminster 3-0 up against Needham Market. I wonder if that'll be another hat-trick for Ashley Hemmings, who's been outstanding for Harriers of late. Alfreton are going to make another change. David Solidemi, another attacking change. He'll come on for number 30, Owen German.
Well, this Tuesday game against Darlington, Pete, will be absolutely massive. Chorley can go just 3 points behind Chester if results stay as they stand, and that will be a massive implication on this league as well, because again, Chorley just keep applying the pressure.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Obviously, you look to the game on Tuesday night, under the lights at Agborough, Kidderminster Harriers beating Scunthorpe, throwing the title race wide open, and now all of a sudden Scunthorpe looking like they're really back in command, as Oxford City 4-0 up now against Warrington. Hereford 2-0 up against Curzon Ashton. Like you say, Ryan, as things stand, Magpies up into 5th, 4 points behind Chester with a game in hand. All of the top 7 currently winning, bar Chester.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculously competitive league, isn't it, Pete? You can't afford to slip up, but if you do, you get punished instantly, and Chester fans will be kicking themselves, and I'm sure Chester players will be too. And you know, they hyped up the Chorley game and brought loads of fans here, and then they weren't able to perform. Seen a few Chester fans complaining that they can't perform in front of a big crowd, which is surprising.
I'll give you one interesting stat. That was put over by Science Kenworthy. Every game in the National League North at the moment, there is not one single latest score as a draw.
That is a fascinating stat.
Not one single draw at the moment. All teams winning or losing. Farsley Celtic 4-0 down against Spennymoor Town. Of course, the Magpies will take on Spennymoor this time next week at the Grant Store Victory Park Stadium. As Wilson scoops it, looks like it's coming towards me. Oh, butterfingers from the supporter. Oh, it's not the supporter, it's Gary. Big Gaz has dropped it. Butterfingers from Big Gaz, one of our guys who looks after the ground. And Adam Lund just taking his time to take the throw. Over he goes. Long looping throw. Goes over everyone and it's actually into the hands of Irwin. He's down on his knees, holding on to the ball, and surely at the moment, Ryan, have to be said, do look comfortable.
Yeah, it's just controlling the game and seeing it out. It's just smart play from Chorley. I think you've got to be careful though, not to invite too much pressure on, because that's when mistakes can happen, and fortunate moments can happen for the opposition team. But if you're still applying threats towards their goal, they still have to be a little bit switched on, because they will start to throw more and more bodies forward, and that's where Chorley have got to capitalise, Pete. But again, with that filed score you mentioned, Pete, that's huge for their case in surviving in the National League.
Yep.
They're only a point now as things stand from safety, so if they can do the great escape, that'll be a good old story for Filed. But Cole Hall there!
Wow.
Intercepting, and it's slowly rolling, but the keeper's not in too much of a hurry to claim that.
Second time, and this time it was Cole Hall. Putting Science Kenworthy under pressure. Came off the goalkeeper and very nearly was headed on its way in as the movie continues for Alfreton. It looked like there was a clear foul in there, but Montgomery's back and does really well to defend that one. Good challenge from George Horbury. Warren Clock.
I think that was just about a foul this time, Pete.
Looked like he was away and kicking, but Horbury penalised for a foul on Solidemi. Another opportunity for Liam Waldock to deliver into the box. For the visitors, Buxton have had a man sent off in their game against Kings Lynn. It's strange, it takes Buxton from 7th to 9th, and Kings Lynn now into the playoffs. You know, and Curzon Ashton losing brings Hereford back into the playoffs. It just shows the yo-yo nature of it. This time Irwin comes out, dives, claims, punches away, shot comes in.
An ambitious chip, to say the least.
I think it's the number 14, Jed Abbey. It's probably the third or fourth time he's done that today, where he's just put his foot through it, and it's, again, needed probably 4 or 5 goals to put it home.
So it's not been his day, I think, and I think they've made all their substitutions now, Pete, if I'm not mistaken.
No, just one left over. Luke Matheson, formerly of Bolton Wanderers. He might still be at Bolton, actually on loan. I think he is. Or maybe Rochdale.
Torrey doing some really good hold-up play.
Header from Cole Hall, and Torrey, the 2 defenders, has the beating, brought down. Another foul from Alfreton, and surely you've got a free kick, probably 27-28 yards from goal.
Yeah, it's just good centre-forward play from Torrey, smiling, and Liam Waldock was even smiling a little bit and laughing about it, because he knew it wasn't really a foul, but Torrey knew how to win it. He used his body well, shielding it. Really smart centre-forward play. Now Blakeman has got a brilliant position. We saw something similar, wasn't it, at Leamington, that from this kind of area he played it under the wall or around the wall. Can't remember what it was, but I think it was a low-driven free kick, and it caught the keeper out.
Yeah. Yeah, he just put his foot through it, didn't he, Blakeman, on that day? Whether he tries to bend it round the left-hand side this time. Yeah, Oren just spotting there the goalkeeper, Sykes Kenworthy, very much over to his right-hand side, and surprised me if he just tries to bend it into the far left here. So Blakeman, up he comes, up he steps, goes low. He goes for that far right-hand corner, and maybe Sykes Kenworthy was right to stay over on his right, because he's right for the far corner. He holds on gratefully.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was just about to say, Pete, before he stepped up, I think what Blakeman was assuming, because he stepped so far right, that he was making Blakeman think that he would run across and gamble. But he didn't do it on this occasion, so Blakeman, unfortunately, not getting the rub of the green off the goalkeeper, gambling off moving early. Again, Horbury playing it long up to Hall, but it's Wiley who comfortably controls it. It's played long, and
Leckie does well to get up there. Claxton tries to get up. Had it, Leckie inadvertently trying to clear the ball away, but Blakeman's there to win it back, and it's just by the dugout. Jake Day to get the play. In goes the long throw. It's over all the way and behind for an Alfreton corner. Needham Market have just got to go back against Kidderminster Harriers. Seth Chambers. Seth Chambers, you want to see Ryan, but the man who was very aggressive with Scott Wilson during the game, and Blake Cup would fit in quite well at Alfreton, if truth be told.
Well, there we go, Liam Waldock to take this corner. Will he go for that flat free kick?
You see the barrage of Alfreton bodies. The referee, I think, just holding it at the moment.
Again, this
should be taken. In it goes.
It's a great delivery.
Nolan battling away with Abbey, flicked on the head, and Montgomery anywhere will do from him. Claxton heads. Montgomery back with another head as Claxton again heads. Game of head tennis continues.
Again, Mo Torre just putting goalkeeper under pressure again. He's looked shaky with the ball at his feet in this second half in particular.
Nolan does well battling away. Gets a bit of the rub of the green there to beat Solidemi. Still holding on to it, Joe Nolan. Got to be careful. Goes back to Henley. Cole Hall there just been penalised. Maybe just a little bit too much argy-bargy from him, and Alfreton have got a free kick on halfway. Over it goes, but all the way out for a Chorley throw, and Scott Wilson and Adam Blakeman just words of encouragement there, has defended that one quite well.
Yeah, just over 8 minutes of normal time left to play here now, Pete. It's been a slower second half, shall we say, than it was the first.
Hasn't really had much to write home about at this moment in time, to be perfectly honest. But as we said, Ryan, Chorley only one thing in mind, a job to do, and Warren Clark now down the left looks to beat Wiley, and to be fair to him, he's defended that one well. And Chorley, another throw to come in, probably Blakeman over on the left hand side. Curzon have got to go back. Mike Afuye is going to set up a thrilling finish at Edgar Street. Blakeman here though will take the throw. Sykes Kenworthy claims it. He's gone down in a heap afterwards. He's done really well actually to come and claim that. No wrongdoing from the Chorley players. But as Oren just mentioned on the press bench, he's winded himself, I think, in the way that he's landed.
The players are just saying, don't bring the physio on. He's okay, but again, I think they know they're against the clock in a way, that they need to make a move for things, and you can't really hold up processes too much longer.
Gunthorpe United 3-0 up now against Chester. The day's going from bad to worse for Callum McIntyre's side. Maybe it's a case of Chester can't hand the Andy Butler's side.
That's it. I think I've been forced to listen to some of the Chester podcasts over the past couple of days, living with the Chester media team, and they have been hyping this up like it's the cup final. And unfortunately, I don't think their players have turned up for such a big game. But again, there's still plenty of football left to play this season. So again, you can't count Chester out. They've got an incredible team with an incredible depth of players as well. But here we go.
Still a chance here for Alfreton. The ball's up in the air. Does well, Lecky in the end to see it away, and Torre pulled to the floor.
Again,
by the 29, David Solidemi, who's straight away protesting his innocence, but I don't think he can complain one jot, can you, Ryan?
No, but that's Torre has come on and done just brilliant centre-forward play. He's got involved, he's done some superb hold-up play, but he's also then drawn in fouls, he's worked hard, he's ran at the goalkeeper, forced errors at the back. It's been just absolutely brilliant from Mo Torre. Again, with Tom Carr potentially out on Tuesday now, with that slight head injury, he could cement his place as the man to be partnered up with Cole Hall.
Yeah, the attendance confirmed this afternoon is 1,697, a great crowd on for non-league day, and the Chorley supporters will be going home happy as things stand.
Again, events like this, non-league day, just absolutely brilliant for
Montgomery's done really well breaking through. Can keep his feet together. He's pulled down to the floor. Lecky in on McDonough, who's just beaten him to it. Play continues, McDonough protesting. Cole Hall, a good touch in to find George Horbury. As
Again, seeing John Gregory just saying wants to see some more goals, but I think in this second half it's just been a bit more game management from Chorley. I think this is what good teams are able to do. They're able to see out games like this. It's been really impressive from Chorley in the second half, just really setting up shop and not really giving Alfreton any real chances. But it's a long throw from Adam Lund. Wiley flicks it on. But again, this is going to go straight out for a Chorley goal kick.
So yeah, Ryan, you were right. The game just sort of dropped a fair bit in terms of its intensity and the tempo. But I think it's important to remember, look, it's not always going to be singing or dancing, all goal-mouth action. Surely you've restricted Alfreton to very little in terms of goalkeeping saves. Irwin had to be commanded and brave in his goal.
You know that famous old saying that I was saying at the start of this commentary journey with us, thriller. Not every game is going to be one, unfortunately.
Like you say, it was never going to be a classic this afternoon. And Chester have got a goal back, maybe, just maybe. Nerves creeping in. Still no draws in National League North at the moment, Ryan. That still continues. Although Radcliffe a goal back against Brackley now to set up a thrilling finish at the Newven. Lots of games here that could turn very quickly, only a goal separating a lot. McDonough looks like he's beating the offside trap, but he's very far down the right hand side. He's got Alfreton players coming, plays it across. Scott Wilson's there to block him away, and it's out behind for an Alfreton Town corner.
Yeah, it was Willoughby who has pulled one back for Chester. I think it's more of a consolation goal. The Chester media team haven't even indicated how much added time there'll be, but it's +1. So, again, you wonder how long will be added, because I think it's more of a consolation goal for Chester on this occasion. more than anything. But again, there's still a long way left to play, and Blakeman
Headed
clears.
away by Blakeman, and Toure 1v1 with Newell using his body. Holds it really well actually, and gives it back to Blakeman to just punt the ball towards Montgomery, who's the highest player, but Sykes Kenworthy holds on. Cole Hall looking to apply the pressure on Dwayne Wiley, but he heads it back to his goalkeeper. Yep, Kurt Willoughby from a free kick it was, as Wilson's got to be careful, clears it. Toure battling away with Newell. Abbey on halfway goes back to Wiley. Wiley will try and put the ball over, finds a couple of Alfreton players. Clark heads it, Montgomery heads it. Horbury was trying to find Cole Hall there, but his contact not 100% on the money. Francis tries to go back to find
Just waiting to see what the fourth official is going to indicate here. About to be the 90th minute.
and there we go. Hereford look like they've got their match winner. It's 3-1 now. Yusufu Cisse in the 92nd minute.
And here we go. It's going to be 4 added minutes.
4 added minutes, as you say. Maybe one more chance for Alfreton here. Is Waldock goes left, finds Francis. On the overlap is Newell. He delivers across deep. It's off the post. It's hit the post. It's Max Hunt, the Taran centre defender, hit the post.
Again, it's a long ball up to the back post. Again, Chorley able to get a body in the way and get it clear. Waldock plays out wide to Claxton. Again, he's looking for options, but is forced all the way back
See Andy
to Wiley.
Priest just roaring at his players to get out. Press now, he says.
It's a great ball across, and Scott Wilson's able to get a foot across.
Defending by Willow again. He's been really good this afternoon for me. Scott Wilson along with Jack Leckie, they've been really good.
Jed Abbey, by the way, there. It was a very good, inviting ball, but again, Francis wasn't able to get his foot on it. But again, we've got this long throw to deal with, Pete. It feels like we're an old record saying that.
Here it comes, Wiley's up, off the crossbar, still alive. Owen holds on, still going, blocked off the line again.
Again, it's brilliant work from Chorley. Bodies on the line. Irwin, I think, might have got a touch to tip it onto the bar there. If he did, it's a fantastic save. But again, that long throw just hasn't been working until now. And Wiley leaped above the rest to get a brilliant connection on it. And then Irwin made a really good save to deny Jed Abbey. So again, it's just fantastic work from Chorley. Body on the line stuff.
Well, confirmation again, the attendance here at the Grant Store Victory Park Stadium, 1,697, as Matt Irwin is awarded the man of the match. Oren Willis and Andy Priest. Andy Priest is not too sure about that.
I think Irwin really hasn't had too much to do today, and that's complimentary to his defenders, I think, who arguably could have been the ones who could have won man of the match. But again, that doesn't shadow Irwin's performance. It's not like he's been poor or anything.
And well there, Cole Hall just in the corner now, managing it for Chorley, looking to hold on to the ball.
Again, just a minute left to play here. Time running out for Alfreton as a long throw This time, not from Lund, from Claxton. He's got a good throw on him as well. Again, I think we've got to give credit for a debut from Leckley today here, Pete. He's been really, really impressive. Stepping in for the first time in the Chorley shirt, and he's had to go against Jake Day and Akil Francis, and he's done really, really well against two strikers who caused teams problems in the past.
Maybe one last chance for Alfreton to try and get nothing more than what will be a consolation. Is, to be fair to the visitors, they have got the answer. Good punch away by Irwin, and that'll do it. It looked like it were an own goal for one of them, but Mike Calvary will definitely claim one of them. Enough on the day for Chorley to come away 2-0 winners this afternoon against a battling, resolute and physically aggressive Alfreton Town team, and Ryan, a deserved and a very important 3 points this afternoon.
Yeah, it's absolutely massive, and it's credit to Andy Priest and his coaching team to set up Chorley in the way that they did. They were fearless going forward at times in that first half, then they were robust at the back. It was really, really impressive performance from Chorley today. Moving up to 5th in the playoffs now. It's really, really crucial to get a win like this today after the results in the past couple of games, and that can do a real good confidence. We know Chorley have got such a strong home record. It's going to be a really, really big and important game against Darlington on Tuesday night. Under the lights, as you always like to say.
Yeah, a lot of discussions ongoing here full time, but on that note, we'll be back again on Tuesday night when the Magpies take on Darlington at Blackwell Meadows on my birthday, no less. So, from me, Pete Tscherewik and Ryan, we'll be back again on Tuesday. Thanks very much to everyone for listening in this afternoon. Your feedback and comments are always greatly appreciated.